morning. This is going to be a reaction video. This is the Jeremy Hill Show. I am the gentleman who has gone rogue, and what I'm talking about today is the fact that there are certain states that are pushing and have approved, from my understanding, the fact that women have to take paternity tests at birth of the child, which is a great thing for many men who have been tricked into raising other men's children who are not theirs, and they find out about it years after they spent so much money on a child that's not theirs, years after they have invested so much into the child. So what I'm going to do is play some reaction video, some clips out of Fair Use, so you can see how women and men feel about this thing. And I'm also will be providing facts, data, and statistics. Let's get started.
All right, don't scroll away because I learned about another interesting law that's changing. Two of them, in fact. So the first one is that they are going to start mandating paternity tests at the time of birth for children. The reason why is when they do get maternity tests, turns out that 1/3 of the fathers are not the biological father.
1/3 of men who take those children to daycare, pick them up from daycare. 1/3 of men who take their children to church, teaching them how to pray, teaching them how to serve God. 1/3 of people, men who are doing everything they can to be the father to a child that's not theirs, finds out later in life that that child is not theirs.
The other one is that they're going to be changing the child support laws so that if you can't collect child support unless it's from the biological father, and the biological father must have actually been a part of your life, meaning that a one-night stand cannot be held for child support.
This is huge. This is paramount. Now, I do believe that a man should take care of his child if he can prove that it is his child. But I also believe that this puts some accountability on the women. This should teach women not to sleep with every Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook, or just any random man get pregnant and think they can run to the government and force this man to pay for a child that he didn't want. If that man is not in that child's life, he don't want that child, even though he should still take care of that child, but he didn't want that. Well, what I like about this, it should make women think twice about sleeping around.
The person actually had to play a significant role in your life. So I think the law is trying to incentivize that you stay loyal. Doesn't seem like a crazy change to me. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's a great idea to have these mandatory paternity tests because women do cheat. Men cheat, but women do it more. They have all kinds of different ways of cheating. And wives, women who get married, they are cheating. They are committing adultery. They are adulterous. You get what I'm saying? So, I think it's a great thing. Let me put some facts on the screen for you. Boom. DNA. From the DNA Diagnostic Center say that 30% of men not the father, 30% of men, like what he was saying. Let me go to another thing for y'all. 30% of men not the father. A quick online search gives frighteningly alarming figures. Many articles claim that as many as 30% of men are unknowingly raising another man's child. This would mean that out of a class of 60 students, 20 of them are growing up calling the wrong man dad. Think about that now. Out of a class of 60 students, 20 of them are growing up calling the wrong man dad. That's a lot. That is a lot of children who think, also the child believes that that man is their father too. The daughter or the son truly believes that that man is their biological father. I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of times these women who get pregnant by other men and want you to take care of another man's child, they absolutely know who it is that fathered those children. They just don't want him to be the father because they don't have what it takes to be a decent man. They want to use you because they know that you will be a provider and that you had good character and that you will raise this man's child. But the men that they slept with, they will continue to sleep with that man. They will even have feelings for that man while they are married to you or while they are with you, while you are raising this other man's child. Something else for you right quick. Now, according to the AABB, the American Association of Blood Banks, which accredits DNA testing labs, released its findings about paternity testing in a landmark 1999 report. Excuse me. The report states that 30% of DNA paternity tests nationwide turn out negative. So all that Maury Povich, you are not the father, is actually true. There are a lot of men raising children that are not theirs. Now, this is not just limited to America. Let me show you what is happening in Africa before I continue the reaction videos. See what they say. According to Punch is a thing out there in Africa. It pretty much says that DNA test shows that 70% of kids not born by men that they call fathers. So it's worse over there. Out of 100% of men, 7% of men are not the real biological father. Think about that for a moment. Now let me go ahead and continue with the reaction video, but I just want to put some facts, data, and statistics just to let you know how bad it truly is. Now let me go ahead and show you some angry women who feel as if this should not be legal, having a paternity test required at birth.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, you know, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving.
Yeah, you could be using your time to do other things like sleep around on your man and get pregnant by another damn man. Any woman who feels like this is someone that is sneaky. Now, don't get wrong. I can understand how they can get offended if they married you and you still ask. I still tell the men to get a paternity test, even if you're married, because people cheat. People do cheat, and people will lie.
Do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
So it's like, if a woman is claiming you to be the father of the child, you may, you know, let's say you're not with that woman, which that happens a lot, you know, in today's society. There's some doubt that this is probably not my child, but instead of, you know, confronting it on both ends, where I feel like it should just be a man's, don't tell somebody the father of the child, but you know that there's a doubt, like if you had slept with someone in between.
I mean, you can avoid the doubt by going by God and getting married and
Now, I agree. If everyone was Christian, if everyone actually obeyed the scriptures, yeah, but everyone don't. Even people who go to church who claim to be Christian, there's a lot of hypocrites in the church that are sleeping with the deacon, sleeping with the church member in the choir, sleeping with the pastor. Yeah, you need to get a paternity test. I don't care what the situation is.
By God and getting married and
real life. What do you mean real life? Marriage is real life.
Right, yeah, no, all right, so now we're talking about human nature. In real life, what actually happens, you know, in a practical universe, what actually happens, especially mistakes happen.
I think men have the right to know for sure, but it's definitely no problem, guys, no problem, guys. It's insulting though. I mean, I think men definitely deserve to know it. It's their right. Just like if a woman's like out there like that, she deserves to know who the father is as well. But I think it's definitely insulting if you're in a relationship and you're married and your partner wants you to have a DNA test.
No, it's more.
How is that insulting? This is when most of cheating starts. This is why they say you cheat in a relationship, that you're a cheater, that you're an adulterer, that you're messing with other women when you are in a relationship. So that is the perfect time to see whether or not the child that she is having is actually a man's child. That's the best time. Not during the times when she's just having a one-night stand, or she just whoring around, going from man to man, going to clubs and sleeping with random men. That's a different situation. But the best time is when you are married and when you are in a relationship to find out whether or not that child is yours. Many men who are watching my show right now may actually be raising a child that's not theirs, but believe it is to be theirs. You might be sitting down on the couch playing Madden, watching TV, watching HBO, watching all this stuff with another man's child. You, sir, if you have any doubt, even if you don't have any doubts, I'm gonna say it like that, even if you don't have any doubts, there's nothing wrong with being safe instead of sorry. Go sneak and do it if you need to, whatever. But go see if that's your child, man.
Definitely insulting if you're in a relationship and you're married and your partner wants you to have a DNA test,
no, it's more
that ain't straight.
No,
that kid not yours. That's
the kid
way
not
more
yours. So you raise it. It's like, yeah, you raised it, and that's, you know, that's your child at the end of the day. But if you had known that and you had that, you didn't give that person that decision.
I feel like if you're in a marriage, you're happy, you're having babies, and it takes a lot to get to that place where, you know, you're having babies with someone. If you're
No, it doesn't. No, it don't. I think over 80% of the children we have in the Black community is from out of wedlock, but wasn't married at all, just having babies. So it's not a hard thing for women. This is BS. Women have children all the time without having a biological father to raise those children. Some don't even know who the baby daddy is. I don't want to hear that.
Where, you know, you're having babies with someone, if you're responsible. For the question to be asked, can you take a DNA test? I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what is this? Like, what did we go down the aisle for? What did we say those vows for? If you're not gonna automatically know that this baby is yours.
That's a fool talking. That is a fool. Just like promises are broken, vows are broken as well. Married men and married women cheat all the damn time. I ain't saying all of them, but a lot of them do. See, this is the type of woman that will gaslight you, gentlemen. This is the type of woman that will try to distort your view of reality. You may see something one way and she'll come in with this BS and try to manipulate the way you think into thinking some kind of other way. We took vows. No, what would make you think that when she's out there sleeping around eating another man's booty behind your back?
Not gonna automatically know that this baby is yours.
So this is what I'm gonna say. I think that y'all want this to be mandated because of a conversation you are not strong enough to have with your girl.
That point I agree with. I think there are a lot of weak men who are afraid to say, baby, I want to get a DNA test. I think there's a lot of weak men because you allow that woman to run you. You are so in love with a woman. You are so emotionally invested, so emotionally attached to a woman to the point that you will raise another man's child. Even though you have that doubt in the back of your head that that child is not yours, you just don't want to lose this woman. You have put her on such a high pedestal that you'll do anything to keep her up there. Man, you better go check and see if that's your child before the real baby daddy have a change of heart, because that happened too. That happens a lot. Not a whole lot, but it happens. Where he said, you know what? I want to be in my child's life. I know what we did was wrong, but I want this time for my child to know who the real father is. You better save yourself from that heartache.
Because of a conversation you are not strong enough to have with your girl. 1. 2, you requesting DNA, first of all, this is a very gendered question, right? There's no way for a woman, well, let me not speak for every woman. For me specifically, there's no way if my man came up to me, I wouldn't feel some type of offense. But fine, if you have the right to know whether it's your child or not, because I know this is my child, right? But to say that it's mandated is where I have a problem.
I could give 2 shakes of a thoughts ass shaking in the club of how you feel or how mad you get because I've asked you. There has got to be a reason why a man would ask you that. You know what I mean? It might have been an argument. Something had to happen for a man to say, hey, I want to see if this is my child. Now, what I'm about to do is play a black man who gives an intelligent response to a reporter about why paternity testing should be mandatory at birth. And I am in 100% agreement of this. Let's get started.
Where from 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being a father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, is then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help 2 things. 1, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. 2, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
Exactly. That is a multi-million-dollar business. Putting your name on a birth certificate of a child that's not yours, and then you find out years later that it, man, no, man. This should be required across America, all through America. It should have been, I'm gonna say it like this, it should have been required. Because we know about women lying. The courts know about women lying about. So why have they taken so long to even consider or to try to put in motion anything like this for men? Because they don't care about men. They don't mind pooping on men. As long as we get to put the woman on the pedestal, forget the men. Let's put the women first. Girl power. Sad.
But so many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother.
Fact.
And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married. You forgot that you were married? No.
Exactly like I said, the whole video I've been making, married women cheat. Now, what I like about what he said, he's absolutely correct when he says that women is the only one, the woman is the only one who has all the knowledge of who the baby daddy could be. Because gentlemen, you do not know who it is. You just know what she tells you. She could be sleeping around with anybody. And when she's sleeping around with anybody, she can be pregnant by 2 or 3 men that she's messing with. You don't know who she's messing with, but she does. She know who might be the father. She knows sometimes, like I said, I've seen on show before, where the woman knows who the real baby daddy is, but has a sucker believing that he's the real father when he's truly not. These women know. See, the paternity test put you in a position of power, gentlemen. Because once you get the knowledge of knowing that this woman has a baby by another man, you can skip alimony. I'm hoping, depending on what situation you're in, but you can skip child support. You can skip going to jail for not paying some child support on a child that's not even yours. So this is a great thing. This is a W. This is a win for men everywhere in America. We've been needing this. We have been needing this. Let me know what you think about the content today. Y'all have a good one.